So again, today's warm-up is finding the mean or the average of a list of integers. Again, considering the fact that those are positives and negatives in our integers. If I take a look at this problem, we're in Fairbanks, Alaska, where apparently it's very cold. Mrs. De Silva would not ever want to go there, just for the record. Just so you know, I would rather be where it's warm. But regardless, we are asked to find, if this forecast is accurate, the average daily temperature for these days. So we've got a negative 29, negative 22, negative 14, negative 4, and negative 16. So I know that I'm going to be adding all of these together. Negative 29 plus negative 22 plus negative 14 plus negative 4 plus negative 16. Now, as you may recall from yesterday's problem, and really you should have learned this property last year, I can, because I'm doing nothing but adding, I can add these in any order. And I also want to notice that they're all negative. So when the signs are the same, we find the sum. So we're really just going to be adding these and tacking on our negatives afterwards. So what I was drawn to right away was this negative 4 plus negative 16, because in my mind that's the easiest thing to do, because that's negative 20. I'm going to bring all the rest of these down and see if anything else stands out to me. And if not, I'm just going to start going in order from left to right. And as I look across this, because I've now got a 20 here, a number that ends in a 0, that's pretty easy to add, so I'm actually going to do that next. I don't know if I like that color or green, but we'll go with it. So negative 14 plus negative 20. 14 plus 20, of course, is 34, and that would be negative 34. Oh, I hope you can see those. Negative 29 plus negative 22 plus negative 34. And really there's nothing that stands out to me here, so I'm just going to go now in order from left to right. But negative 29 plus negative 22. So 29 plus 22, because I'm going to be using those absolute values. Well, 20 plus 22 is 42, plus 9 more, I know is going to be negative 51. Bring down this plus negative 34. I'm going to have to move on to the next page here. So just bring back what I had. I had negative 51 plus negative 34. That's where I'd left off. Again, signs are the same. Find the sum. So I'm going to 51 plus 34. Well, 50 plus 30 is 80. 1 plus 4 is 5, so that's negative 85. Now, I'm not done. All I found so far is the total. And I know when I find an average that I have to divide the total by the number of integers. And in this case, they were temperatures, so I'm just going to put number of temps. So my total is negative 85, and I'm going to divide that. There were 5 temperatures that I had to find. Negative 85 divided by 5. So I'm going to ignore that negative, or find the absolute value of it for now. And I say to myself, how many times does 5 go into that 8? It goes into it 1 time. 1 times 5 is 5. 8 minus 5, that gives me 3 left over. So now I'm looking at 35. 5 goes into 35 7 times. I've got an odd number of negative signs, so my answer is negative 17 degrees. That is my final answer for my average of those temperatures.